What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about balance. What is balance? And when people use excuse for balance. First things first, the most important thing in life that you need to do to be able to survive and have a family is your career, your financials, of course, and school. What I mean by that is I hear people changing jobs to easier job that pays less money so they can bodybuild. People delaying school so they can compete. People not focusing more on finances and their future, insurance, life insurance, other investment things because they spend all their money on bodybuilding. I will tell you, bodybuilding will not make you rich. I would say probably 5% of people in bodybuilding make good money. And if they do, it's very short-lived. It's not going to last 25 years. It's not like a professional football player where they're getting paid a couple $1 million for 5-6 years and they're done. It doesn't work that way. So if your dreams are to become a professional bodybuilder and that's what you do for a living, I'm going to crush that. Squish. Because that doesn't happen. Okay? Like I said, unless you're the top of the top. And people don't forget sometimes the top 10 in Mr. Olympia contest. That's the best in the world. So if you're going to sit there and say the best top 10 basketball players in the world, that would be a very, very select few, okay? Make sure that school comes first. Don't neglect jobs. Don't neglect school. Go to school. Get everything done so you can be established because you're looking forward to your future. Plan ahead. Don't see in the high and now. Bodybuilding's not going anywhere. Neither is strongman or powerlifting. You can still gain muscle. You can still focus on your training and put off competing until all that is said and done, and then go back at it. It's not going anywhere. You're not going to miss any crazy opportunity. And unfortunately, social media today has kind of made it so everybody's quickly to jump on stage and quickly to compete because they need notoriety or they need a number of likes to feel good about themselves. When in reality, 30 years from now, you're not going to give a crap. So really, guys, focus on your job, focus on your school. The next is family, okay? Family, significant other. Now, you don't want to neglect your family, your significant other, mistreat them, don't spend special quality time with them. Avoid family outings just because you're competing or you're on a specific diet. You don't want to be around people. I mean, if that's your personal choice, it's your personal choice. But if you're with somebody and that person means a lot to you before bodybuilding, and you start bodybuilding and you guys start having problems, sorry, but you're the asshole. I know people will argue that to the end. I mean, the bottom line is you can always establish some sort of agreement or a balance with each other to be able to still train, eat well, and still balance the relationship needs from one another. That's important. I see people split all the time in this industry, and I think it's unacceptable. You know, if you have a significant other or family members that are unsupportive of it completely, that's a whole nother story, in which we'll touch on in a second. But it's important. Have balance. Hour and a half training, 5-6 days a week, with eating well and preparing food is not that much time in a week. You can have plenty of other time outside of that to spend one-on-one time with your significant other. Pay attention. You know, don't be snappy at them if they don't understand or you're dieting. I mean, if you're choosing to diet and be grumpy, then that's it, you know. You might need to have a conversation with them, explain to them what you go through during prep or competition so they know and prepare ahead of time. But communication is vital. I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot of people split and have happy relationships and they go into this industry in bodybuilding and all of a sudden they break apart because they think they're the coolest things in sliced bread. Don't want to do that. So to kind of touch up on that, you know, balancing bodybuilding, training, you can still be successful and be very good and still balance out your family and your finances, okay? You can. Now, I will touch on one thing real quick. If you're going to be the best in the world or you're trying to be the best that you can be and you're about to make $500,000 in winnings, you're going to need to dedicate your entire life to one entire thing because anybody in any sport who wants to be the best at what they do has to do that. But most people can actually make some good ground along the way on the way to that road. Nobody needs to dedicate their entire life completely to bodybuilding at the novice, lower amateur level. You work your way up, get better and better, but the most important thing is you still can't neglect your finances. You can't, because you're going to be broke at the end of bodybuilding, even if you are at the top and after. I mean, I know, I'm not going to say names, but I know quite a few, heard of quite a few top pros who used to be really top back in the day who were having financial problems the last 6-7 years. So it goes to show you problems right there. The next thing is making excuses. Okay, now some people say, oh, I can't do this because of my family, where they're using their family, they're using their significant other, they're using the lack of balance to make an excuse on why they're not doing something. Don't make excuses. I can't stand that. If you don't want it bad enough, then you won't do it. If you are cutting the gym short to watch your favorite TV show, a football game, a soccer game, I don't care, dude. That's an excuse. You can easily watch the game after. You can TiVo it, tape it, replay it, get a recap. It's not going anywhere. But you really have to have some sort of dedication level at some point to sacrifice the things in life that don't really matter, the things that matter if you want to be good at something. I mean, we already established that finances, your wife, your relationship, and your family are number one. Everything else out there, competition that you do, is number two. Seinfeld and your TV shows and concerts can wait. Those aren't going anywhere. You have a whole life to do that kind of stuff. You're only young once, and you can only really build muscle when you're in your 20s and your 30s to the max extent that your body can carry. And after that, it's kind of damage control. And the next one is, I just want to touch on something. You don't want to be that person who's on the internet with a GoFundMe account. I will tell you, for all you people who use GoFundMe to compete, that sends a really wrong message to a lot of people, not to mention others in the industry. If you have a GoFundMe, meaning, in most retrospect, people don't know your situation, but it comes across as in you don't have your shit together and you can't afford to compete, which means you probably aren't planning really well, you're probably not very good with money, and you're using other people to fund what you do for a personal interest that's not going to benefit people at large or people who are actually in need. And a sponsor probably looks at that and is like, well, this person doesn't have anything together. They don't really work very hard. They need other people to pay for their stuff. It's not very respectable. So don't be that person either. I know I'm going to piss some people off on that, but good. And the other one is how I did it. How did I establish a balance? Well, I could say I'm in a different situation now in my life with my wife and I work from home, but we do have our time after 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., electronics go off. We spend more time with each other. We make fun meals together at home. Sunday's our own day together. We schedule time away. And you might need to schedule time. See, in a relationship, what people don't realize is you first get in a relationship and then everything clicks perfectly. But eventually you're going to actually have to schedule time for your relationship, which is normal. Or else that relationship will just dwindle away. All right? So you really have to take time and really narrow that down. You need to have that balance. And sometimes it's good to get your mind off competition. But Sundays are for us. I have balance and I do other things on Sunday sometimes too. We shoot, we ride dirt bikes, spend time with our dogs, go for a walk, plan things ahead. But you got to have that balance. And you can easily do it. I mean, I quit bodybuilding for almost 15 months to get my whole career underway and finish my internship so I could become an RD, finish my master's, and do all this stuff. So I know a lot of people in this industry and other people are part of Universal Animal who did the same thing. They went through school, they got their master's, they're a dietitian too, and now everything's going well. They're sponsored, they're bodybuilding, they're doing well, they're professional. So guys, you got to look at sometimes the ground roots. Life, you need your finances, you need your school, your education. You need to protect what matters most to you, your family, and your significant other. And for those of you who don't have that supportive significant other, I'm very sorry. Or that supportive family, but you're just going to have to grit your teeth, bite your tongue, and that's it. Because they're never going to probably support it. But you don't need to neglect your relationship, your family, and everything else in life just to bodybuild or compete. That's not what it is about. Have a balance, and you can still be good that way. I did it. A lot of other people still do it. Okay? Bodybuilding's not something you have to do 8 hours a day. It's 1 hour and a half tops, and get your food. So guys, I hope that was useful because an experience of me being the last 13 years doing this, going to school full-time and working and bodybuilding, I did it. I know a lot of you guys do it too. I know a lot of you guys who do it are shaking your heads at the people who need the GoFundMe accounts. But no excuses, guys. Pay attention to what's most important in life, because 20 years from now, you want to be fit, you want to be healthy, you want to have a good job and a solid family. Talk to you guys next time.